YouTube. This is a video that, as you guys know, you did the poll for, and I wanted to do this, and this is actually going to be like a 3-part series. So yeah, I also wanted to let you guys know, if you're not interested in like dark, sad, kind of like, you know, emotional things, there's a lot of triggers to this. I'm not even going to lie to you. There is like mental abuse, physical abuse, there's stalking. There's all of that involved in this story. So if you don't like it, I do have other videos that are happy and goofy, me drunk baking, etc. Please click on those. I love just to see you guys watch my stuff because, as you know, I'm literally just doing what I want now. I mean, I was doing what I want. You know what I mean. This is actually the first time I've talked about this. I kind of didn't want anyone to know. It's not that I didn't want them to. It's just, normally when you say stalker or stalked or something, like, just the stigma of it is just so, to me in my head, maybe it's because I was, it just, I don't like how it feels. So, more or less, this video is going to be 3 parts because I was actually, I looked on a timeline yesterday too. 7 years ago is when I was with that person, and it's literally 5 whole years that that person stalked me. So there's literally a beginning, a weird part in the middle, and then an end. The end is, I don't even know how I lived through it, but that's besides the point. Let's get into it. I'm sorry I keep rambling again. This is the first time I've talked about it, and I myself kind of am nervous. Like, I don't know if you can tell. I'm like kind of shaking a little bit. Also, the people that I'm going to talk about, I'm actually changing a lot of names. We are all grown. A lot of us are, you know, we have families now. So, I mean, I don't have a family, but you get what I'm saying. People, we've all changed. So what I want to talk about is I was 15 when I met this person. Ugh, I'm getting nervous about it still. I knew I was going to do this. And this is a genuine, like, true story if you can't tell. I was 15, that person was 18. Me and my friends had decided to go to the mall. I had just been through a really bad breakup with a guy that I had dated. I had dated him for a while. I've always liked long-term relationships. That is just who I am as a person. If I'm with you, I'm only with you. So we're at the mall, and it's me and my friends. We're all like hanging out, obviously, a normal thing that people do. You have a breakup, you go out with your girlfriends, you have a good time, or so I thought. So I go out, and we are like all in this, like, we kind of like walked around a little bit, you know, normal stuff that teenagers do, looked at clothes, etc. And then we all end up in the food court. And there's like some people, I was kind of like anti-socialist in high school. I'll talk more about that later. But like, I didn't have that many friends. I had like 1 friend, maybe 2 friends at the time, and they were with me. And then there was another group of people that were just at this table. So we all like joined at a table. There was a couple on the other side, another couple, and then there was my friends, and here's me, and I think it was my sister's friend. Was that her friend? No, it was her sister and her sister's friend. So they were like, it's a big group of people. And in this group, there's this really tall person. And I had never seen this person before. I had no idea who he was. My friend kept hitting on him, kept talking about him. Like, he evidently was the shit. Excuse my language, but that's how it was. He was like a football player or something. Something that I normally, like, did not go for either, which is even funnier. I actually dated a lot of geeky people because I'm a geek myself. Well, this dude, I could tell you, I know to this day because I'm still remembering it in my head. It's like he knew that I had already, because I already had like a lot of trouble like at home too. It's almost like he could tell. He like manipulated it almost. Not really manipulated, but he could point it out in a crowd. Like, this person's good, this person has issues. Let's swarm to this person. So he kept talking to me, and I'm like, dude, look, I just went through a breakup. I'm really not interested. He's like, but you're so beautiful. I'm like, thanks, I guess. But again, I'm not interested. So this guy, I also should have kept this and like thought about this. Kept like, you know, oh, let me talk to you. Let's go out, blah, 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 blah. My butt finally was like, whatever. So I talked to him a little bit. He's doing the same things that I'm used to at this point. You're pretty. I like you. Can we go out on a date? Like, basically, I guess what guys normally do. I don't know. I'm not good with flirting. But besides the point, he keeps on. So finally my friend's like, oh, you guys are like talking, oh, y'all should like go hang out together. So like we walk off and start hanging out. What it was the thing is he called that I was trusting, which again I should have called what he was doing. He bought me a drink. He goes, you accepted it, so you trust me. And that's where it kind of all started. Me and him ended up going out on our first date. Again, remember, mind you, I was 15. This person was 18. My mom was with us for our first date. And it was like a normal first date. The only thing that I thought was weird was he was mean to the waitress. And the way I grew up is you were always very nice to your servers. So I didn't think anything of it. Just started dating this guy. He's like nice. He tells my mom, I work out of state. I make good money. Your daughter's very attractive. I love having her around. It's all about her. So, of course, my parents are like, my mom's like, great. Meets my dad, same deal. Later on, gets in more with my family. All right. The next thing is me and him. I'd been like dating for a little bit. I think this was like a 1 to 2 month period. Yes, I have notes because this stuff like is so, and some of the details are just really weird. So it's hard for me to remember. But we were like at a family thing, and we were just like, a lot of times we did hang out with his family too, now that I think about it. We were at his family's, and we were just like hanging out, doing normal stuff. And me and his cousin were closer in age, which was weird. We were like literally closer in age. Like it almost kind of even seemed weird. But we were joking about something. I don't really remember what happened. But like literally just joking around, ha ha, whatever, just because I was a goofy girl, that's how I was. And he just snapped. It was weird. He was like, what, we need to talk. I'm like, what do we need to talk about? I'm hanging out with your family. He's like, you were flirting with my cousin, why were you making him laugh? What were you talking about? I'm like, dude, first of all, I'm only with you. Secondly, we were joking about something. I forget what it was too. It wasn't even that like big of a deal. And he swore up and down that whole time, you're cheating. You cheated on me. You cheated. And I should have caught right there what that meant. Well, I still keep hanging out with this dude. Like I said, actually that same night, we were all eating at the table, and I went to grab some more food, and he blatantly called me fat in front of everyone, which if you don't know and you're a woman, that is basically like mentally gonna abuse you. I don't care who the hell you are. That's gonna mess you up. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe he's just still hissed at me. Hissed. Yeah, he's still hissy because I flirted with his cousin. Whatever. Well, later on, we ended up like hanging out more, and we got to the point where we would work at the, it was like, what was it? Like a Pendergrass. It was like a flea market. Basically here it's a flea market. And he would always keep all the money. He kept my money. I like would work too, and he would keep the money. So I was like, okay, maybe he's just trying to be like, yeah, the breadwinner. I don't really know. I was 15 at this time, just remember. So I just thought nothing of it. I would like wear my makeup or wear clothes, and like he would get hissy or mad at me if like which you guys can't see in this obviously, but like when a girl does her makeup, her stuff sometimes like the mascara can stick right here, and he would make me like give me a makeup wipe and be like, fix it right now. And I was like, dude, it's just makeup. He's like, fix it. So I would fix it. Basically look like a little trophy wife a majority of the time. I wore what he wanted me to. I dressed how he wanted me to, because leading up to what's about to happen, you will see why. Later on, it was my sister's wedding, and we had to go get wedding shoes. So, cool, we're going to go get wedding shoes. I'm not thinking anything of it. It's pretty awesome. I'm going to be in her wedding. He's going to be there. He's going to be watching in the audience. It's going to be a good time. So I thought. I was really wrong. We go to get the shoes and got in an argument somehow. I forget what it was, but he would argue about the weirdest things. Again, it had to do with his ex or this or that. And it was always my fault, whatever it was, even when it was something that I didn't do. A guy could hit on me, it was my fault. A person could do this, my fault. He messed something up, my fault. So he got mad and he physically like grabbed me. And at this time, I didn't describe to him, or he was like 5'8" something. And I'm like 5'2", I'm tiny. Like, and at this point in high school, I was only like 116 pounds. So I was like really little. This dude like manhandles me, and like, I remember it kind of like shoves me in a parking lot. In a freaking parking lot. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. I've never had that happen before. I've dated a lot of people, but I've never had that happen. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just brush it off. Didn't think anything of it. Well, I should have. One night later on, after that incident, we were at his house, and he always like tried to fix stuff. He wasn't very good at it. Would like fix his car for like ever and ever. So he goes to fix his car forever and ever. And I think we were like, we're gonna go get food or something. And I think this was also in a parking lot. And I wouldn't say that I was beautiful or agree with something that he thought. So he was like, you need to agree with me. You need to. I'm like, no, I don't. So he actually picked up the little lighter thingy that like you light a cigarette with. And he actually got my arm like right in here. There's not any marks or anything now, thank God. But he like literally just shoved it on there for a second, pulled it right off and was like, what are you? And I was like, I guess I'll just agree. So I agreed. I should have noticed right there. That is a big red flag. Why are you with someone like that? I was stupid when I was young. Like, I don't know why I even let myself be around someone like that. But I did, and I was. Later on, too, we weren't together that long, and we were engaged. So, we were engaged. He kind of manipulated my family into thinking that he was a good person. He would buy, like, school clothes for me. He would buy jewelry, expensive things too. Like, anything that I wanted, he actually would buy me. It got to the point where this man promised me that we would have an apartment and he would buy me a vehicle. That's how much this guy ended up, like, putting into this relationship. So I was thinking maybe it's just a side effect. Maybe he just gets mad. Maybe he's got anger issues. All right, I give myself that. My family and everyone likes him. You know, maybe I'm just being a moody teenage girl. So later on, things start progressing and getting worse. And I'm thinking, okay, why are they getting worse? Why is it that he's later to pick me up? Or why is it that, like, he would pick me up after school all the time, on dates, on weekends, and he just got to the point where he was getting, like, later and later and worse and worse. And I'm not talking about, like, 1-2 hours. Like, he would tell me 4 or 5 hours, or, like, tell me I'm going to be there, and then 4 or 5 hours show up. Why? Okay, so this dude did this, and I, again, was very gullible and kept going with it. I got to the point where I could tell that he was, like, I guess in my head and in my heart, I could feel that he was, like, unfaithful to me, and I don't do that. I don't do unfaithfulness. So, actually, shoot, I'm getting a little choked up there because this part's, like, really, it's really messed up what happened. Being myself, being the woman I am, I actually kind of, like, caught in my head, maybe this isn't the right thing for me. Maybe I'm young and I need something different. So I tried to break up with this guy. I should not have done that. That was, like, one of the dumbest things. I do want to remind you too, it's only been 2 times that he has done something bad and crazy, like abusive, basically. I tried to break up with him, and as I did, he tried to punch, like, here I am, here's this big guy, and he went like this. And it's weird too, because I think my family was home. I don't know what they were doing, but they, like, weren't paying attention. They never did when he came over. They thought that it was just me and him hanging out. And I was telling him, you know, I don't think this is working. I think that you're, like, unfaithful, and I don't want to be with someone like you. So he got really, really mad, tried to punch me, went through. I went like this as soon as his hand, because you got to think about it, someone's hand coming, going like this, or going like that. I went like this, you know, obviously I leaned down further, and he punched a hole in my wall. And that was the weird thing about it. He punched this hole in my wall. So at this point, I was actually kind of scared. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not afraid of anything. Nothing scares me in this world. That right there scared the crap out of me. I was thinking, this guy tried to punch me, punched a hole in my wall. We had this, like, weird Valentine's Day card, and it was a big one. And I had already had it, like, up somewhat, but I didn't have it in that spot. I actually moved it, ironically, and put this, like, little love thing that he loved me so much over this hole in the wall. Alright, I didn't break up with him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was afraid for what could happen to me. Not even to mention, I'm little, I'm small. This guy's way bigger than me. I'm thinking this dude could, like, just pick me up and, like, throw me over his shoulder, you know, do away with me, basically. Like, that's literally what could have happened. So, yeah, I continued dating this person, being around them to the point where, again, he blatantly like cheated. And I actually finally ended it at that point, which I thought, hey, I ended it. It's over. I can go on and just be a normal kid again. Like, I can go to school, I can hang out with my friends, because he was very controlling too. Like, what I wore, who I hung out with, if I smoked something, which I did not smoke anything, if I drank, which this guy also, I should have mentioned that. Actually, no, I can mention that now. This person also, I did not know this, his previous person claimed that he had like did all this stuff to her, and he like convinced me that it was a lie, and that's why he's on parole. It was like stalking and like rape, all this stuff. But again, his story, the way he told it was to the point where you would believe it. And I know it sounds crazy, my parents even believed it. But yeah, like, again, that is what happened shortly after the breakup. This person had came to me and was like, everything's falling apart like you thought it would, And I'm like, I didn't think it was going to go like this. I didn't want this. After that, I was sad, of course. I went to a friend's house. I was hanging out. I was trying to have a good time, trying to be normal. I kept getting text and text and text. And it was like, not just Nora, it's, I hate this. I want to be with you. Let's work it out. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada. I think before I broke up with him, I said something about marriage counseling, which I wasn't even married. So that can show you I actually tried really hard. But yeah, I kept getting texts and texts. So finally I'm like, hey, let's go to a mall and hang out. My mom actually was like trying to make me feel better, like get my nails done, give me money. And this one specific day, I remember it so well in my head. I went to the mall and I was walking around trying on things, trying on clothing. I think I'd only bought 2 items, and I was waiting for my mom, and one of our songs came on, and I just remembered, that was one of our songs. That's sweet to think about. And my phone rang, and it was him, and I was like, okay, I'll just pick up and do whatever. I picked up, and I said that our song was playing, or that I've heard our song, and he's like, yeah, I hear it too. I was like, what? Just imagine being in a public place and hearing someone say, yeah, I hear it too, on the phone with you. Just think about that. Okay, that's cringy enough as is, yeah? Well, I go, whoa, what do you mean you can hear it too? He's like, no, I mean, I can hear it on the radio right now. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. And he's like, what, wait, I want to talk to you. I really want to make this work. I just hung up. I just remember hanging up, and I was like looking all around me, trying to figure out where this creep was. Because at this point, I was by myself, walking around, just doing my own thing. All right. I get picked up later on. I think, I told my mom what was going on, and she's like, that's kind of creepy. I'm like, kind of creepy? She's like, no, that's like really messed up. Like, I don't like that. So shortly after that, I wasn't kidding. The text, I kept getting text after text after text, and they were like, not just normal text. It's, I can't live without you. I'm going to kill myself. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to even say anything to you at this point. I think you're stalking me. I love you. I want this to work. I want to have your child. I want to have a family with you, this and that. And like, it was an obsession, basically. I want things to work out. I want to have a wedding. I want the wedding that you were talking about. And he was talking about like details of stuff that I wanted at that point. And it was creepy. So I didn't answer any of these texts. Might I remind you too, at this point, I had a lot of texts. I was keeping every text. He started to where he knew where I lived, and I know he did. He lived like an hour away. This guy was driving, I don't know if it's because he was in town or what, but he was always driving down my block. And here's like my room, here's my little window, and the other window, and here's like how you drove down, because we lived in an apartment. And this guy like literally would drive down to see if I was home, and like just like look around, like see if I was there. And I actually told my mom, like, look who's outside, like he's outside. And it like was kind of weird because he kept doing this and kept doing, and then I kept getting the text. So we actually got to the point where we wanted to tell police. That right there, you would think, would stop everything. But in the county I lived in, it didn't. We went and told the police officer and showed him the text and everything, and like basically said, how much is a restraining order? Can we get one? This guy goes, well, maybe you're doing it for attention. I was like, what? Like, I think I actually just looked at him and said, huh? Like, are you kidding? And my mom, the look on her face, I could still remember to this day is, first of all, what's wrong with you? Secondly, excuse me? And she looked dead at this guy and goes, my daughter does not ask for attention. She doesn't ask for any of that stuff. Why would someone want to be stalked? Like, what sense does that make? And, you know, we just left after that because this person did not help us by any means. And this place, whoever it was, it's different now. It is nothing like that. But, of course, when I was with him, this guy liked to cause a lot of drama. I actually acquired 2 things that he gave me, which was funny because I could use them on him. I think he kind of like made it, like I told you, he manipulated people. I think he manipulated some guys from my school to like stalk or like watch us. Oh my lord, oh this pretty younger girl's walking around with this older guy in Walmart. So like, because of that, he goes, honey, I want you to keep this, it's like a flashlight, taser, and a knife. So I always had that stuff on me. I actually walked around with that. I still to this day walk around with stuff like that because of what happened. But yeah, like, it's just crazy to think. This is just the first part. I think that I'm explaining this correctly. I pray that I am, because again, I also would like to point out, and I'm going to probably do this at the end of each video or the beginning. If you're a woman or a man and you're in a situation such as I was, obviously mental, physical, everything you did, you know, was bad, whatever. It's really terrible. Like, I know it's bad, but the thing is, you can rise above it. You do not have to stay in a bad situation, no matter what you think. Please learn from what I'm telling you. Any of the stuff that I did and dealt through, I am okay that I dealt with it. I, to this day, am fine with it. But I know in my head and heart that some people get stuck like that because they think they're scared. I've been scared. I know. Just please learn from me. Do not, if you see these red flags, if your family says this person sounds weird or this sounds shady, maybe you should listen. Like, your family's there to protect you. People that genuinely care about you are gonna tell you what's going on. I'm getting hot right now because I'm like, this is really emotional. I didn't think that it would like mess with me this hard, but like, again, I also kept secret about it because, like, not really secret, I just don't want anyone to know. Like, someone who is strong and courageous and wonderful, like, you don't want to know that they were stalked. That, like, I still also have issues to this day, like with my current fiance. Like, if he grabs me the wrong way, I like spaz out, or I still have nightmares. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time, but in my head it still feels like, even describing all the stuff to you, I could feel it's just like yesterday to me. And there's more to it, obviously, 5 years of this. So I hope you guys do like this. I hope that, again, if you're a woman or a man and you're ever exposed to any of these things, please ask someone for help. Ask your family, ask a friend. If you don't have a friend, there's so many different hotlines you can use too. Try them. And if that doesn't help for whatever reason, again, just remember, you are stronger than your situation. You are not defined by a situation. I myself know that now. I used to like think, oh my gosh, I'm a victim. I was a victim. I never played that card. That is not who I am. I am not a victim. I am a strong woman. I am someone who dealt with a lot of stuff, and I am still here today. That being said, you little fishies, you're not fishies, you're little kitties. You, my little kitties, I don't know what that was. I was thinking about Trisha Paytas for some reason. You, my strong little kitties, just remember that. Also, savage. I had to wear this, just makes me feel very strong, very feminine, very, and there we go with the weirdness. But yeah, so I'm gonna get off here and go edit this. I hope you like it. I know it's very raw. I know it's weird to see someone actually openly talk about it. No, I didn't tear up. I'm not going to tear up over it. It doesn't deserve that anymore. Also, the current person I'm with is nothing like that. He's one of the best people in the world. He does everything for me, and I do everything for him. And we're both happy. So just think of it that way. I went through something dark and I got something light. It took a while, but I got the light that I needed. So again, I'm probably rambling, but bye my kitties. Meow.